following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to the Ring and All Other Sports. As usual, my name is Leo Connors, my partner Derek Dukes. We're back after a 3-week vacation. Brother.
Good to see you, man.
You too, pal.
Give me a little up top. Thank you.
Listen, Derek, we got a lot to talk about today.
We have a lot to catch up on, man.
Yeah, I'd really like to start with the WWE Cruiserweight Classic.
That's crazy.
They've had 8 matches televised already. I'd like to just go over the brackets. We'll start with, just the bracket.
Well,
if they had the match, we'll talk about the match real quick and move on. Kenneth Johnson last night took on Akira Tozawa, and this match was unbelievable. Kenneth Johnson's from Detroit, Michigan. He has somewhat of a speech impediment. They were talking about how that he wasn't even supposed to, be there, to be this big of a wrestler and getting this shot. Kid's tall, lanky, thin. But wow, man, he really, really, really impressed me last night.
Great worker.
Yeah, really good worker. Yeah. But Tozawa.
Oh, he stands for himself who he is.
That kid is, unbelievable. He's not a huge, obviously they're cruiserweights, but I'm just saying, he's a kind of a short guy, compared to Kenneth Johnson, who was about 6'1", 6'2".
Yep.
But Tozawa, wow, what a match last night. I think Tozawa's probably going to win another round, and then who knows. It's really hard to figure out who's going to win.
I know.
I mean, we have our ideas. We've talked about it before, off camera and all that.
Right.
But I think Tozawa is definitely going to be in the final 16. And I'd like to see Kenneth Johnson again. I think I'm going to try to keep my eye on him.
Right.
Seriously, and watch some of his matches more on the internet. He really impressed me that much. Then we got Jack Gallagher and Fabian Aichner. And I'm not too familiar with either one of these guys. And I'll tell you guys right up front, I'm throwing a party for my daughter tonight. And I was in a rush. And I forgot my notebook at home. I have all kinds of things written down. So me and Derek's just going to talk about what we already know. We're going to do what we do best, as you always say.
That's it.
But that match is going to be, I think, in the 4th week, because they mentioned matches after last night's, and that wasn't one of them. So I think that's along with the Rich Swann match.
Right.
But, Tajiri last night took on Damian Slater. Now, Tajiri from Japan, Damian Slater from Australia. Tajiri's 46 years old.
And I don't know if you ever remember all Tajiri stuff over in ECW.
Oh, yeah, of course I do. I love ECW. You know that.
He was, he was just nuts, and especially with his wrestling talent.
Yeah.
When he brought it over here.
Yep.
And technically, if you watch him work, he is technically the original king of strong style.
I would say I know they say Nakamura, but you're right though. Tajiri was
from my time. Yeah,
definitely. But on this side of the country.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But they say Nakamura. It's so funny when you look back at Nakamura back then when he was when they first mentioned him as the king of strong. He's a lot heavier.
Yes.
He was a lot heavier. He doesn't even really look like the same guy anymore.
No.
But wow, we're going to talk about him later on anyways. But that match was great. Tajiri wins with the buzzsaw kick to the head.
I love that buzzsaw kick.
Oh, man, it looked really stiff. It probably wasn't, but it sure looked it.
No, it's Tajiri. It probably was.
Yeah? Well, that kid, I'll tell you, took a good one.
No.
Damian Slater's a kid to keep your eye on from Australia. And real quick, too, I heard that WWE may be doing this every year.
Oh, thank God.
So I'm hoping that we get more local guys around here into that next year.
Well, the whole thing is, too, is think about it. If you're going to do it that way anyway, you can always any cruiserweight can be a heavyweight.
Yes.
You know? It's just the fact of the matter of if they keep doing these blocks the way they're doing it, and at the end bring so many guys over or do this and do that kind of like that, then they'll keep filling up NXT, and then they keep moving people up.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Which is like you said, you got to move guys up, and you got to have guys to take their place.
Exactly.
And with this Cruiserweight Classic, and that's another thing, too. We're going to get into Raw and SmackDown a little afterwards.
Wow, crazy.
Right? We're going to talk about the draft later on, but I definitely expect, next year, that there might even be a couple of these guys again in the tournament. You know what I mean? They'll probably bring a couple of these guys back and stuff, but it's pretty
I can't
exciting.
believe they brought Tajiri in.
I know. Did I? Remember when we talked about that?
I know.
That was crazy.
I didn't think they.
I thought I'd seen the last of him on American television.
Well, considering when he always just wanted to go back home and work anyway,
Yeah.
but it's just funny that, of course, he's technically, which he is, he's kind of WWE alumni.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, of course he is. Oh,
You know,
yeah, he was
so-
there for a good 4 or 5 years.
I mean, yeah, and he had a good run.
real good run.
So I'm glad that they brought a real talent
Yeah,
in, and they put him over.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure the kid that he faced will have another chance.
Oh, I think so too. And like you said, remember we talked about this before a few weeks ago. Like I said, we haven't been here in a few weeks. And the last show we had Sonny on.
Yep.
So it was the week before that,
Mm-hmm.
the second or third week in June. And we talked about how it was good to see them bring in some veterans to help
Yes.
these young kids
Yes.
in this tournament.
Loved
to
it.
maybe go over finishes
Yep.
and things like that.
Loved it.
And to Jerry and Tyson Dukes was another one.
Yep.
And Tyson Dukes is wrestling next week on TV.
Oh,
I'm
perfect.
really looking forward
Perfect.
to that match. But then we had Alejandro Saez took on Grand Metalik. This was last week.
Okay.
And Saez is from Chile, representing Chile, and Metallic is representing Mexico. And that was a really good match. Metallic went over. So in the next round, we already know this, that Tajiri is going to be taking on Grand Metallic. And I'll tell you right now, that's going to be a stiff match.
He was the high flyer one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, he's good too. They are. I mean, no doubt, all these guys are good. We're going to talk about, like I said earlier, Kenneth Johnson.
Yep.
He wrestled last night, and that kid impressed the crap out of me.
Definitely.
You know.
Yep.
Next we got Harv Shivra. Okay. One of the Bollywood boys. There's brothers.
Oh,
Remember the two brothers
yes.
that are in the tournament?
Yes.
He's going to be taking on Drew Gulak, and that match will be next week.
Gulak.
Drew from Philadelphia.
Yeah, okay.
He's good, man.
Good worker.
He didn't wrestle on Tommy's show last time, did he?
Yeah.
He did, right?
Yeah.
It was in the opening match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Drew Gulak is definitely a special talent.
Yeah.
He,
good worker.
He
man.
actually, you know where I saw him too? I saw him at that Beyond show I went to, the first one I went to, he wrestled. Somebody told me that he actually wrestled twice, that he's under a hood.
Oh, mask guy.
As a colony too, as one of the colony
Oh,
guys.
so he's a mask guy too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. Drew's a pretty tall guy, real technical, good, solid wrestler. He's got a little brother, Rory. He used to wrestle in CZW as little Rory Mondo
Yes,
or something like
yep.
that. Nick Mondo, an homage to Sick Nick Mondo,
Yes.
who was one of the, I don't care what anybody says, a little guy, but hardcore. He could technical wrestle.
Yep.
If you've never seen Sick Nick Mondo, look him up on YouTube because he's definitely worth it.
Right.
Next we got, this is going to happen next week, Zack Sabre Jr. taking on one of the veterans, Tyson Dux.
Oof, man.
That match, I'll tell you right now, is going to be awesome. Because I just did see Zack Sabre Jr. at that Beyond show that I
Right.
just went to a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And he's unbelievable. He lost his match to Jonathan Gresham. But the match was incredible. I don't know if you've ever seen Jonathan Gresham. Before Beyond, I'd never seen him before.
No.
He had wrestled a little for CZW and other companies. That kid's good, too.
Okay.
Real good. So that match is going to happen next week on TV. Then we got that Noam Dar against the other Shivra brother.
Yes.
Gurv. One of the Bollywood boys. They're a tag team. That match should be good. Noam Dar. We talked about him. I did look him up a little bit. I watched a couple of his matches. Pretty good wrestler. I didn't look up the Bollywood boys, but I'm sure they're good if they're in this tournament.
Right.
The last match on this bracket side is Arya Davari and Ho Ho Lun, one or the other. But they had their match last week.
Oh.
And Ho Ho Lun went over. He won. Good match. I kind of was surprised that he went over because Davari I've heard a lot more of, especially with his brother being Sean Davari,
Yeah.
a WWE alumni.
Yeah.
But Ho Ho is it's like
know.
I'm ready to eat a cake.
I know. I swear to
But
God.
he's from Hong Kong. He's the one from Hong Kong.
Right. Okay.
So this kid, I expect to see pretty decent
See
things
what kind of
from him.
push they'll give him.
I'll tell you right now, he may make it over in the next round.
Yeah.
Because he's going to take on the winner of Dar and Shivra.
Well, we'll see what kind of push they
Yeah,
give him.
so we'll see what happens. We're going to go over to the other side now, and we got Raul Mendoza versus Brian Kendrick, and that's the main event next week.
Wow.
On the Classic.
Really?
Yeah. Mendoza's pretty good. I've seen a couple of his matches. I watched them, looked them up on YouTube.
We know who Kendrick is.
We are. Yeah.
We know who he's taught by.
We know who he. Yeah, we know he's from where?
Well, first of all, I mean, who he was trained by.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's one of the original guys
Yeah.
from Shawn Michaels' school.
Exactly.
One of the original guys.
Yep, yep.
So, wow, that's pretty impressive.
That was a good class of guys, too. Him,
London.
London.
Steve London.
No, it's Paul London.
Paul London, thank you.
Yep. And Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Who at the time was in the mask going as the American
Oh,
Dragon.
my God, that was so funny.
Yeah. And Shooter Schultz.
Yep.
Lance Cade.
Mhm.
There was a couple of other kids. They were a tag team. They were called the Board of Education, and I wish I could remember their names because they really would be worth mentioning because they are. They were pretty good. They actually had a pretty good television station. They were on the UPN network in San Antonio, Texas. They used to have a TV and everything. And
Okay.
I got a tape from Rob, from RF.
Yep.
And when I was doing the catering stuff, I ended up grabbing one of those. And I'll tell you, man, it had like eight weeks of TV. Wicked entertaining. You know, and Sean would be the announcer.
Yep.
And also they had, every once in a while, jumping in was Paul Diamond, who went by the name of
Wow,
Venom. He went by the
really?
name- So
Yeah,
Paul,
yeah.
Paul also was down there helping train.
Wow, I
all
worked
these
with
guys.
Paul in ECW.
Yeah, yeah. And,
Wow.
yeah. Was Tanaka there too at the time, or was it just
no,
Paul?
no, it was
Because
just Paul.
Tanaka was pretty good too. Pat Tanaka. I
Yes.
liked him too. They were a great tag
They were
team.
great tag team in the AWA.
Yeah,
Great
really
tag
did.
team.
Now, and didn't they tag team in the WWE because he was under the mask
for this long.
Yeah, because
Yes.
remember Tanaka didn't have the mask. They
Right.
put the mask on Diamond.
Yep.
He was Kato.
It was about
Yeah,
that long.
Yeah, very, very short run.
Yep.
But I thought they were really good. Also next week we're gonna have Anthony Bennett versus Tony Nese. We
Ooh.
talked about Tony last time, like when we talked about the cruiserweights. He's good.
Yep.
I really do expect him to go far in this tournament. He might be. Now, they say Zack Sabre Jr. is the best
Yeah.
wrestler in the world right now, but I'll tell you what, I would argue 100% that Tony Nese is right
Yep.
there with him. Seriously. We saw him at the House of Hardcore
Yep.
show, too.
Correct.
That kid is unbelievable. He wrestled a little in TNA, too.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't keep him because he's that talented.
TNA.
Yeah, exactly.
You just say more.
You know, I don't even watch it at all, Dad.
How
And I'd love, and I like this. I like
Listen.
Mike Bennett and a few other
Listen,
guys.
brother,
Moose is there now.
Brother, we both know we're both professional wrestling lovers.
Yes.
And if it takes both of us to say that I don't even catch TNA anymore,
Right.
I mean, come on, man.
Yep.
It's
It's a shame.
it's a damn shame to what TNA has become.
Yep.
Because a lot of, I worked over there for a very, very short time
Right.
working backstage
Yep.
in Orlando.
Right.
But just to see the guys that came out of there when I was over there at
Yep.
the time, the only true OG left is the Shiz, the cowboy guy. What's his name?
James Storm.
He's the only
guy
one-
that you're not a big fan of.
No.
Like you think he's all right. I know, I'm just saying, but you're not high on him. I'm not high on him anymore.
Right.
Either. I thought he came in when he was in that NXT for a short time again.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah.
He was out of shape, which I don't understand. Here's a guy that's been in shape, getting a chance to go work for
5
Vince.
minutes, he was totally blown up.
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
And you could see it on him that
Are
he was,
you crazy?
I don't understand.
When someone like Hunter gives you a shot like that and you're blown up in under 5 minutes and you're a professional,
Yeah. And remember, his tag team partner got a shot a couple years. His old tag team partner got a shot on Chris Harris
Yes.
as Braden Walker.
Yep.
And he bombed.
yep. Well,
He came in
way
worse
out of shape. You better believe it.
Wow. That was crazy.
Mhm.
But yeah, so like I said, Anthony Bennett versus Tony Nese next week on the classic on the WWE network for.
$9.99.
So make sure you guys, if you got the network, watch it if you have.
Please,
It's on every Wednesday right after NXT.
And
at
now
9
it has
o'clock.
its own section.
Yes.
So please, if you get a chance to see these maniacs,
Oh, you got it.
I'm telling you, and I do use the word maniacs, 'cause these guys are unbelievable.
Yeah, they're flying all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Next match was, and this happened last night. Was it last night? No, the week before. I'm sorry. Kota Ibushi
Yep.
took on Sean Maluda. Now, Maluda's related somehow to the Samoans.
Owens, yeah.
Yeah, the Alphas trained him and stuff like that.
Isn't,
but he's like a cousin.
What the hell's his real name? I know you're talking about. Yeah, he was actually technically just called up, shall we say?
Yeah,
Um,
he's pretty good. But
nephew, cousin.
yeah, no, yeah, he's his nephew. He's their nephew.
He was the
He's
nephew?
Alpha's nephew. It must be like a sister or something.
All right, because
it's not
he-
Zika's kid.
He just got called over from is it WXW?
Okay, yeah,
Over
in
where?
Florida.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
because they used to be in Pennsylvania, then they moved it down to Florida.
Yeah, and
years
they've been in they're in Sanford or Hudson, Florida now.
ago.
Wherever.
for a while now.
Yeah.
right?
well,
about 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah. So Ibushi went over in that match. It was really good. Again, if you haven't seen it, you can always go back to the network and watch them because both sets of TV shows are up now. You can watch them.
Right.
Then we have also last week we had Clement Toit from France took on the United States Cedric Alexander, who we talked about briefly a couple weeks ago. Ring of Honor star.
Yep.
Kid is unbelievable. I definitely think he's going to go far in this tournament too. I know we say that about a few guys, but a few guys got to go.
Well, the whole thing is look at all the talent in this block. It's crazy.
Even the 8 matches that they've had, right? Even the 8 losers have impressed the crap out of me.
Right.
I keep saying crap tonight. I don't know what's up with that, but
Yeah.
you know, I guess it's better than the other word I could be saying.
That Sonny kept using.
Yeah. Oh, we don't want to go there. We grossing people out.
Oh boy.
But also last night we had a great match. T.J. Perkins from representing the United States.
Yep.
But he's representing the Philippines.
Yep.
Took on Damak from
God.
Germany.
Yeah.
Now, as soon as I saw this kid, the first thing I thought of is he stole Christian Casanova's gimmick. Because this kid comes out with the white glove, the Michael Jackson jacket, just like Christian Casanova. And I think he's good. But honestly and truthfully, and I'm not just saying it because he's a local guy, but Christian's just as good, if not better.
Oh, I think Christian's top notch.
He's really
good.
He just won the Lethal Lottery.
Yep.
And for Lucky Pro Wrestling last week, and I wasn't able to go. I had a big party for my uncle that we went to. Did you catch my video of me singing on
I did.
Singing karaoke?
Let's not watch it.
The old man didn't do too bad.
Don't watch it.
Yeah. But Cedric Alexander, I'm sorry, we're already past him. T.J. Perkins, we did talk about this a few weeks ago, but he was on Antonio Inoki's dojo in the late 90s. He was actually there before Daniel Bryan and before Nakamura.
Oh, boy.
Daniel Bryan was talking about this last night, too, like saying, I've known TJ for years. And he literally said he's probably the fastest wrestler, speed-wise, that he's ever wrestled.
Right.
You're talking about this guy that's saying this is one of the fastest wrestlers I've ever seen. And he said that Perkins is even faster than him, which probably close.
Well,
I mean, I'm just saying Daniel won't put himself over like that, but Daniel's just as fast, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I miss watching Daniel Bryan in the ring. I'm sure you do too.
Oh, he was definitely the underdog.
Yes. Now, here's a matchup that is not going to happen next week, so it's going to be in the fourth week. Okay? Johnny Gargano.
Yes.
And his tag team partner, local boy, Tommaso Ciampa.
Can't wait, man.
Now, I hate to say it, some of these things have already happened. Like the results of the first round. We're not going to talk about them until they show them on TV.
Right.
I already know what happened, whatever. But these two guys are going to put on a clinic.
It's going to be a battle.
And like I said, they're not wrestling next week. So I guarantee that is going to be the main event in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Guaranteed.
Yep.
Because they do have a main event out of these matches. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I really, really think that match is going to – I expect that match to go 20 minutes. If it doesn't
go any more than 20 minutes, and there's a problem on the other side.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, that match is going to be incredible. It's too bad they have to wrestle each other in the first round. I thought it would have been kind of neat if they wrestled in like the quarterfinals, semifinals, or something like that.
Against each other after they already won their block.
Yeah, but no, they put them in the ring against each other right away. Then we had last night the main event. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't the main. It was the semi-main event. Lince Dorado, representing Puerto Rico, took on Mustafa Ali, who's representing Pakistan, I think. Okay. Great match. Lince, I always used to think it was Lince.
Right.
But they call him the Golden Lynx.
Okay,
that's what it's like, a cat.
Right.
And you want to talk about speed? He did this flying head scissors from the apron to the outside of the ring. And when he landed, I don't know how he did it, but he pretty much landed on his feet.
Wow.
I don't know how you land. You know what I mean? It was incredible. This kid is fast, colorful. You want to talk? I mean, real quick, too, I want to go back, see when we're talking about colorful. T.J. Perkins.
Yes.
Very colorful character. Loves all kinds of colors in his outfits and things like that. And he actually did have a lot of colors. He had sneakers. He was wearing sneakers when he wrestled. And it was kind of threw me off because I'm not used to seeing too many guys with sneakers like John Cena does.
Right,
we
but
know that.
Like, I don't know, you've seen my shoes that I wear.
Yes.
Actually had my Nikes made down in Florida. There's a company down in Florida out of Tampa. I actually had my bottoms surfaced for the ring mat.
Oh, nice.
So they look like sneakers.
Yeah,
They're
I never
low.
knew that.
They're low profile, but I had them shaved, is what they call it,
right.
for the ring. So I look like I'm wearing sneakers in the ring.
Yeah.
They're actually my wrestling
I
boots.
always thought you were wearing sneakers.
Yes.
See that? I
Yep.
just learned something there.
So a lot of times you can.
Right. Now, the last match we're going to talk about in this first round tournament is going to happen most likely again in the last week because it's not announced as of for next
Right.
week. Is Jason Lee versus one of the guys that I can't wait to see, and I really hope they push this kid to the moon. If not in this tournament, but on NXT, Rich Swann. Like I say it every time I bring this kid up. If you haven't seen Rich Swann, what are you waiting for? Seriously, this kid can do it all. He's fast.
He's very talented.
Very talented.
Very talented kid.
I expect this kid to have big things eventually in NXT now that they brought up some people, which we will get into later on.
Can't wait, man.
So opening up some slots
Yep.
for guys that they have signed that aren't on TV.
Well, good.
Bobby
Now it's
Roode,
time to open
Eric
these slots.
Young, right.
Yes.
Chris Gerard, Biff Busick,
If Busick.
Rich Swann, guys like that I expect for them to put on the air soon.
Right.
Hopefully sooner than later. All right, Derek, now that we got that out of the way, I got a real question to ask you.
Sure,
Seeing
buddy.
that, you're a worker.
Okay.
What do you think about this lawsuit that they're trying to do to the WWE?
You really want me to get into this?
I really do. I want your opinion on this.
Dude.
And then I'd like to just tell you mine afterwards. You know
Okay,
what I
so
mean?
this is how I feel about this lawsuit. I'm pretty sure you all know that there are 50 wrestlers suing the WWE for their head injuries and this and that and so on and so forth. Let me tell you how I feel about that. I worked for ECW, okay, Extreme Championship Wrestling. I've been hit in the head by Balls Mahoney. I've been Kindu sticked. I've been hit, okay? But here's the thing. You go into this knowing what you're getting into.
Yes.
Back in the day, especially all these older guys, 2010, I believe, they took the chair shot to the head away in
Yes.
WWE because of injuries. Great. That's just great. But here's the thing. Back in those days with all these guys who were talking, I mean, they're going as far back as like King Kong Bundy. And
Right.
all these guys are getting involved. And of course, now the Brooklyn Brawler. I'm like,
Snuka.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Really? Really? I think it's BS. You know what you're getting into when you go to wrestling school. You know what you're getting into when you climb into that ring, because we're taught to do what is going on out there. Chair shots, all that stuff back in the day. That's what we did. That's what the crowd loved, and that's why we did of it. So you're trying to tell me now you're going to sue after you haven't been in the ring in 35, 40 years? And I will use that because a lot of these guys are all older guys from the 70s and 80s now.
Paul Orndorff's in that suit,
Paul
too.
Orndorff, which kills me.
Yeah.
I can't. I've sat and had dinner with Paul Orndorff,
Right.
and he's never talked bad about the business. Now all of a sudden he's one of those guys. I think it's BS. You know what you're getting into when you get into the squared circle. You know what you're getting into when you sign up for your classes, you go to school and learn our trade. And I said our trade because that's what these guys are. We're all a family. And to do something like that, that's asinine. Asinine. So you know what I should do then? Maybe I should.
Yeah, right.
Well, maybe I should. I mean, you don't think that my head looks like a road map of Texas for no reason? You don't think that I have a new hip and a new shoulder and had my knee fixed? I'm going to sue then. No. You know what? It's BS. They know what we're supposed to do into that ring, and now they're going to try to take advantage of it. And it gets me so heated, man, because I think it's wrong, and I think for what these guys are doing and what they're trying to do to the business is totally inappropriate, man. Totally inappropriate.
I agree 100%. You know, I think this all started with they had a lawsuit going before, and the same lawyer is trying to bring another case
Excuse
up,
me.
and he lost last time.
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was guys like Big Vito, and a bunch of other guys. And somebody
Excuse me.
posted on Facebook the other day that if you don't agree with this, delete me. So I decided to make a comment and said, yeah, I think I will delete myself.
Right.
Because I don't agree with
No,
this.
it's
I
dumb.
really don't. If you work in the WWE and you get hurt in the ring like Chad, whatever, from Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty with the rocker dropper there.
Right.
Now that kid,
Yep.
Chad Austin.
Yep.
Okay? Now that kid got legitimately hurt in the WWE ring. Now he has it, honestly, he has a right to some money.
Darren Drozdoff.
Yep, Darren Drozdoff, another guy. But these guys worked for other companies afterwards.
Correct.
You continued to wrestle after you left the WWE. And this person who put this out, and I'll say it right now, it's Vito's wife,
Oh.
Noel Harlow
Yep.
LaGrasso.
Yep.
She said, if you don't agree with this, well, guess what, Noel, whatever I don't agree with
Right.
it. I really, really don't. And I don't agree with it because every one of these guys wrestled for somebody else after the WWE. If it was so bad, why didn't you stop when you were in the WWE? Why did you continue to wrestle for TNA or any independent company? But you're only going to sue Vince. You know what she said? Because he owns all the territories now.
Right.
Well, guess what? If you didn't get hurt in the WWE ring, you got no money coming to you. Sorry.
You shouldn't have a foot to stand on.
That's right.
That's
and they're
right.
not going to.
No.
I guarantee you
No.
this isn't going to cost them any money because they're doing it because the NFL, which is a $1 trillion
Yeah.
company, you
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
Organization. You know, Vince, they say he's a billionaire. He's really not, maybe not a billionaire, millionaire, multi-millionaire. But the NFL is a $1 trillion industry.
Right.
And because some of those guys are they sued because of head injuries, being told to play, hiding injuries and all that. Well, guess what? They played in the NFL. They're suing the NFL. They have a right.
Another thing.
They didn't go play in, I'm sorry, real quick.
No,
they
please.
didn't play in Canada and then tried to sue the
Right,
NFL.
right.
They never played anywhere else.
That's
They
right.
played in the NFL. They sued the NFL.
Right.
That's fine. But if you leave the WWE and wrestle somewhere else for years, and then you come back and say, my head hurts, sorry. Why did you wrestle so much? You should be suing the last company that you worked for
That's
then
right.
because the WWE didn't cause it. Even if you had injuries back then, you continued to work somewhere else, like you.
Brother,
asinine.
we all had injuries, man.
Yep.
Trust me, we all had injuries.
Of course you
Every
did.
one of
Of
us.
course you did.
No matter where you started, whether you were an indie guy and got injured or you weren't an indie guy.
Right.
I mean, all right, you did it perfect, the NFL.
Yep.
How many NFL players became wrestlers?
Right. Oh, yeah.
So you're trying to tell me that must be Vince's fault too?
Right. Yeah.
It's got to be. Oh, you know what? Vince must have twisted your arm to become a professional wrestler.
Right.
Had to be it. So
Yeah.
let's sue Vince.
You know something, how you just brought that up? You know what would be a really good show on down the line? Is to talk about who the best ex-football players are that became wrestlers, the best ones. We're definitely going to do a show
we could go.
on
We
that.
could do good
There's
and
some-
bad.
There's some, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because I'll tell you right now, near the top of the list, got to be the big cat, Ernie Ladd.
Yes. Definitely top-notch guy, though.
Absolutely.
Who totally learned his trade and brought it
Right.
to that squared circle.
Yep.
And he brought it just like he brought it when he was a football player.
Yep.
He's definitely my number one guy when it comes to that.
I think so.
And my
I think
bottom
so,
guy,
too.
I'll forever and ever, my bottom guy is that scumbag Goldberg.
There you go. I'm not a big Goldberg fan either. But you know who else is good, too? Was Dick the Bruiser. He
Oh,
was
my
a
God.
great football player, too.
He was the Mike Ditka of the football field.
Oh, he's
Okay? He was an
unbelievable.
animal.
An animal.
And that's why when he brought his size
Yeah.
over to wrestling,
Yeah.
why'd they call him Dick the Bruiser for?
Yeah.
Because he was an animal. And
Yeah.
he did another one. Great job.
And its tag team partner was Crusher.
Oh,
Crusher.
the
Reggie
Crusher. Yep.
Legowski, or whatever. But that, I would never, I'm sorry, but like, I'm not in the wrestling business. I'm around the wrestling business.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But those were two guys I would have never, it'd be like wanting to,
No.
I wouldn't want to take on the Road Warriors
Especially back then because they worked a lot stiff in the
either.
70s and 80s.
Because everybody had to think that it was real. You
Correct.
had to show people
so
that
you,
it was
you
somewhat real.
literally had to show, you had to work stiff. You
Yes.
had to.
All right. Now that we get that out of the way, Derek, we got 30 minutes left. I'm pretty psyched. I think this will take us 30 minutes. The WWE brand split. They had the draft the other night.
Right?
Some things I liked, some things I didn't. We'll be able to talk about things.
Yep.
We're going to go through the draft.
Let's get right in it, brother.
Round one, number one pick, Seth Rollins.
Unbelievable. I was like, really?
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be Rollins.
Right.
I did. It was either going to be Rollins or Ambrose.
Yep.
I kind of really thought it was going to be Ambrose, though, because he's the champ.
Because of being the champion. Right.
But seeing that Stephanie's running Raw and Shane's running SmackDown kind of makes sense because she was pushing, being
Yes.
part of the authority with Seth before.
Right, but also remember, that's also Hunter's one of Hunter's boys.
Yes.
So-
Who took over the pedigree.
Correct.
Triple H gave him, the blessings to use his
Pedigree.
finisher. So draft number 2, SmackDown picked the WWE World Champion, Dean Ambrose.
Right.
Lunatic Fringe.
Yep.
Which I really don't like that nickname that much, but whatever.
It's
a
dumb.
nickname. It
It
kinda
is dumb.
It kinda
Yeah, it is.
And Seth Rollins is the architect. Was he building buildings? No,
Just building them, just tear them down.
you know what I mean? I'm like, that's not.
I know.
How can you be an architect
The new
in wrestling?
names.
I really
The new
don't
names are
understand
ridiculous.
That.
They really
But,
are.
The third pick shocked me unbelievably. Charlotte.
I know.
She was picked third. Maybe it's just because of the belt. Kind of makes me think that they have huge plans for her. They're going to continue to push
Right.
her as the champ. I really do.
Right.
I don't see her losing the title very soon.
No.
Because they picked her third. Come on. There's a reason for that.
Right.
You know?
Oh, speaking of that, before me interrupt you real quick, as of yesterday, I forgot, I wanted to bring this up.
Okay.
As of yesterday, the New Day are now the longest reigning tag team champions. As of yesterday, 388 days as of yesterday.
Ever? Of all time?
Of all time.
Wow.
That kind of blows my mind, but then I read more into it, and that's both runs.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Right.
How they did that.
Yeah.
But they're saying 388 days. So now technically, in the wrestling Hall of Fame, the law books,
the encyclopedia,
they are the longest running as of yesterday.
Wow.
The longest running world tag team champions.
And there's been a lot of tag team champions. A lot.
A lot.
That'd be another good one to talk about some night.
I'd love to do tag teams. You know me and tag teams,
me
man.
too. That's my favorite. I'd rather watch a tag team match than a singles match
any day.
I love tag teams.
Agreed.
The fourth pick of the draft, SmackDown, well, Shane and Daniel Bryan, I forgot to say that.
Oh, that's
Daniel
right.
Bryan is the general manager of SmackDown.
Yep.
And the general manager of Raw, which I thought it was going to be Triple H.
Right, I did too.
I even told Maria, I said, it's going to be Triple H. She's like, you sure? I said, I guarantee it.
And who'd they bring out?
Mick Foley.
Foley.
But in a way, I'm kind of glad to see it, though. I like Mick. I think the way he threw his body around, he earned to continue to get a paycheck.
Well, also,
he earned that
he needs to kiss some ass to get his daughter in.
Yes.
Sorry, that's how I feel.
Yeah, and that, but I don't know. Like I said, I thought it was going to be Triple H. I don't mind it being Mick. Like I said, I think he earned a paycheck, just like Daniel Bryan earns that paycheck. That they didn't just release him and let him go.
Right.
They found something for him.
Right.
Because if you ask me, it's Triple H's fault that Daniel Bryan got hurt. Anyways, I'll never forget having his hands tied behind his back, smashing him with.
My God. I know.
Come on, that was and it was bad. It was brutal.
Yep.
Brutal. But on the fifth pick in the first round, some rounds were 5 picks.
Yep.
And some were 6.
Right.
All right. And just so we can follow this better, every 2 picks, Raw had 2 picks to SmackDown 1.
1, correct.
Okay, because Raw's 3 hours and SmackDown's 2 hours.
Yep.
So the 5th pick in the draft was Finn Balor from NXT.
I was so pumped.
Me too.
When that happened, man.
Me too.
Totally deserved.
So, and Derek called us a few weeks ago, said that a few guys were coming up. And he called this one a long time ago. And Derek also likes to talk how we know on your way out, you put people over.
Of course.
A couple weeks ago, he put Nakamura over.
Yes.
In a match that was unbelievable. And it's going to be nice to see Finn Balor on Raw.
Wait a minute. No, it went 40. I think it went 42 minutes, that match.
Oh.
Something
really? That long? I know it was long.
It was almost the whole show.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a great match.
Good stuff.
Great match.
Finn Balor, salute.
Yes. So now we're into round 2, and again, Raw picks first. Roman Reigns with the 6th pick of the draft.
Yay.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel, the same thing.
Next.
Yep, next. 7th, the face of the company for the past 10 years, John Cena.
JC.
Yeah, John Cena, SmackDown.
Which was weird.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be on Raw.
He's a Raw guy,
but
but
something, SmackDown needs some stars though, like to keep now that it's going live every week. And I'm glad. I'm glad to see Cena up near the top because he earned it. Of
course,
he's such a company man.
Yep.
The 8th pick of the draft on Raw. The Beast Incarnate.
Yep.
And we have to talk about this for a split second. Brock Lesnar won his UFC fight against Mark Hunt a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Brock controlled the whole fight.
The whole fight, top to
bottom.
bottom.
He had a little bit under his eye, and he took a few shots, but Brock pretty much manhandled and held him down because Brock's such a good wrestler. Once he got Mark Hunt down, he just kept his weight on him.
I'll tell you right now, if Hunt was to get to his feet and fight him, he would have killed him.
That's why
he would have knocked his head off.
And that's why Brock knew that.
Yep, and he definitely did.
And I'm surprised that Mark Hunt wasn't, ready with more knees as
Brock
was coming in all the time. But Brock's a lot quicker than people think.
Yep.
I think that's the whole thing.
For a 300-pound guy, he's quick.
Yeah, he's very quick. The next pick, the 9th pick of the draft, is going to be Brock's opponent at SummerSlam, going to SmackDown, Randy Orton the Viper. Now, that's a nickname I can get into.
Right.
Not the Architect.
Yeah.
You know, the Viper, that's a good nickname.
Yep.
I call a new guy I work with. He told me he was a snake when he was younger doing crazy things. So I said, I'm going to call you Cobra. So we were calling him Cobra.
Cobra.
The guy's like 62 and we're calling him Cobra.
Viper,
It was awesome.
The Viper versus the Cobra.
Yeah. All right. The 10th pick of the draft, we just talked about him. Derek told us that they are now the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions. The New Day, Xavier Woods, Big E, Langston, and local boy Kofi Kingston.
Yep.
And I know, and we feel the same way about these guys. We didn't like it at first, right? They really didn't.
Because it was the same thing.
It was kind of stupid at first,
Right.
though. But they grew on me.
Well,
they let them keep
Well, they
doing
also
it.
grew on us because they changed it up every week. It wasn't the same thing. When they were heels, it was the same shtick every week,
Right.
and you're like, all right, come on. When they became babies, boom, the shtick changed, and it got better and better.
They brought out the bootios, and like I
Yes.
said, I know I just said it, but that Who thing cracks me up every time. I know they do it almost every
Right,
every
right,
promo,
right.
but it's pretty funny. You know, I love it when Kofi does.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yep.
cool. And Xavier Woods has really come a long way too. I think I like Xavier, and Big E. I really think that eventually he's going to have a run with the heavyweight championship. But we talked about that a few
Yep.
weeks ago too.
Yep.
That his personality has finally come out really good.
Mhm.
Remember when he was just Dolph's bodyguard?
Yeah.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? And remember he gave flowers to AJ Lee.
Yeah.
He
That
was
was-
the secret admirer. That's
Yep.
kind of funny.
That's pretty
It's gonna
good.
be nice in 10 years from now when they put out a nice DVD on Big E. There's been some pretty funny, cool
He's had
things
some
that
good
he's
stuff.
done.
Yes, he
Real
has.
good stuff. And now we're into round 3. I'm sorry.
Round 3.
And the 11th pick, Raw pick Sami Zayn, which I'm really surprised because I really do believe that there's guys lower than him that should have been drafted before him.
Yes.
Nothing against Sami
No.
Zayn. I like him.
Yep.
But I just don't think he's the 11th pick of the
Right.
draft. But whatever. Matter of fact, the next guy should have been picked before him. Going to SmackDown, Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
Sami Zayn picked before Bray Wyatt?
I know.
I don't get that at all. I really don't get that. And a couple of picks down, we're going to, in the next round even,
Right.
we're going to be like shaking our
I
heads
know.
even more. But the 13th pick of the draft, Raw picked Sasha Banks, baby, the boss. A lot of guys just went to the, in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Was for Raw.
Yep.
And then SmackDown in Worcester.
Yep.
And Jose was posting all kinds
Oh,
of
yeah.
stuff. Man, it was awesome. She hooked him up, and he's good friends with all those
Yep.
guys. He's good friends with Devon too.
Yep.
You know,
Mhm.
good stuff he was posting on Facebook.
Yeah.
And with the 14th pick, right after Sasha Banks going to SmackDown, was Irish Lass. Is that where she's from, Ireland?
Irish
Becky
Lash
Lynch?
kicker.
Yeah, the Irish
Lash
Lash
kicker.
Becky Lynch. She's a pretty girl, red hair, well, orange hair.
Good worker.
Yeah, real good worker. I was kind of happy with her pick. I'm glad Sasha was picked before her,
Yes.
which she obviously should have been.
Yep.
And I don't expect Sasha to be picked before Charlotte.
Oh, no,
I just was
Right.
shocked that Charlotte was third. That's
Yep.
all I'm saying. Nothing against
Right.
anybody. I
Right.
just was surprised.
Yep.
After Becky Lynch in round 3 ended with the 15th pick, Raw took Chris Jericho, the consummate professional.
Yep.
Off here, you just said that.
Oh, my God.
How much of what was it on? You just said he was a
Yes.
consummate professional.
Better
Him
believe
and
it.
JC, John
Better
Cena.
believe it.
Jesus Christ, no.
That's
Remember
right.
when you say GC,
The good Lord.
that's who I think of first.
The
And then
good
I'm
Lord.
like, oh, he's talking about Cena.
The good Lord. That's right.
So round 4, first pick for Raw was the United States champion Rusev with his beautiful bride,
Yes,
Lana.
that's correct.
You know, no surprise there, really, to be honest with you. You know that Rusev was picked right around there. I think
Right.
that's right where he probably should have been picked.
Yep.
Right after Rusev, with the 17th pick, another guy with a girl, the Intercontinental champion, The Miz, with his beautiful wife,
And I
Maurice.
can't believe that they rehired her.
Me too.
I know.
She must have been, and she didn't. She wasn't like they had kids. If I'm not mistaken, they don't have kids. She just didn't.
Yeah, they have children.
Oh, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I didn't think they did. See that?
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they have children.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's why she left for a while, and now maybe the kids are going to school, whatever. You know,
Whatever,
obviously
right.
there's no school in the summer. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they went to SmackDown. With the 18th pick, this guy definitely, no offense against Sammy, but should have been picked before you. One of the best heels
My
on
man.
the roster.
A fat guy that can wrestle.
Yep.
Kevin Owens.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Staying on Raw, which I'm glad that he is.
Good.
You know, the 3-hour show needs a guy like
Yep.
Kevin Owens.
They need a troublemaker.
Yes.
Yes.
And I just don't understand why he was picked so low.
I know.
I really don't.
You know what, though? Here's what you have to think. You got to think he was picked.
Yeah.
That's all that really matters.
True.
He's being noticed.
Yep. Absolutely.
And like I said, brother, how many times have I said it? A fat guy that can wrestle.
Oh, and you love that.
You know what? He'd rather lift a hamburger than lift a freaking dumbbell.
And he'll tell you that too.
You bet your ass he will.
He'll tell you
and then
that.
go into the ring and whoop that ass like he's built like one of those tough guys. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So good for him. Good for him.
I was happy for him. The 19th pick, a little surprise on this one, Baron Corbin was the 19th pick going to SmackDown.
I was hoping they were sending him back to NXT.
Yeah,
but
no, unfortunately they're not. They're not. But maybe he'll grow on you. Maybe he'll get better in time, and maybe you'll like him someday. Maybe not. Yeah. All right, the 20th pick, the last pick in round 4, probably the hottest tag team in wrestling right now. It's not called the Young Bucks.
Oh my God!
From New York.
Excited.
Yeah. Big Cass and Enzo.
Yeah, I was so excited, man.
Did you see the little promo Big Cass? I mean, Enzo cut. I don't think it was on TV.
Yes.
Where he went off like
the pre-show.
Dude, he's a pretty smart guy. I mean, if he knew all that stuff for real,
that was pretty good. That he cut that.
That was unbelievable.
He cut that promo unbelievable. Yes.
I wish that we could share that, like, you know what I mean. But obviously, it's not our problem.
My God.
I'd love to put that up at the end of the show. So wasn't that awesome?
He just schooled.
Dude, as soon as it was over, I rewound it to watch it again. I did. I watched it 2 to 3 times in a row.
He
just
did
because
good.
I thought it was awesome.
He did good. I love those guys.
Yeah, so that was the end of round 4. Now we're going into round 5. Again, remember, Raw gets the first pick of every round. So they get back-to-back picks.
Well, remember, 3 hours to 2 hours.
Yes.
So, yes.
So now we get another tag team. Came over from Japan. And now they've been split up with their buddy who was picked in the first round with the 4th pick, AJ Styles.
Oh,
Gallows and
that's
Anderson.
Right. Gallows and Anderson.
Remember now, AJ went to SmackDown.
Right.
Gallows and Anderson
are on Raw.
So isn't there somebody
But wait
else?
a minute. Someone else got picked to Raw. I think it was the fifth pick, maybe?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Who told you?
Yeah.
Who told you to do that?
I think it's too late, though. Now they're not going to do it.
You know, though.
Unless they still can. They do have time to still
do it. They have plenty of time to still do it because they have not brought Balor in yet.
Right. So
but
they do have
give
time.
Give it a week or two. I'm telling you, I'm hoping that they start coming out to every match and beating the hell out of people.
Right.
And then you're going to hear Anderson scream, he told us to do it. He told, because, you know, Anderson's pretty much the mouthpiece.
Oh, yeah. He should be.
And you're going to hear the announcers, what?
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
Who's
he? Who's he? And I'm hoping to God that one night that they're in the ring battling with someone, the lights go out, and then there's Balor at the top.
In his paint.
Oh, my God.
paint.
In full gear.
Dude, that
in
would
full
be-
gear with his shirt on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
Yep.
It's going to be incredible if it happens.
I hope so.
But so they were picked with the 21st pick.
Yep.
The next pick was the 22nd pick. Here we go. It's in the tag teams, 3 in a row. Derek loves these guys, and so don't I. They're coming up from NXT.
Yeah.
Jason Jordan.
Yep.
Chad Gable.
Yep.
American Alpha. They are ready, willing, and
Able.
Gable.
That's right. Well, I always say Able because he's
Well, that's what it's supposed to be,
that's
but
right.
they say
But he looks
Gable.
over and goes, Gable.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
right.
awesome. And I'll tell you, that kid's good, man. For little dude, he's a little guy.
Great workers. And from what the sheets and everyone is talking about, that Kurt Angle is coming back.
Yes, I hope so. And that'll
So
be perfect. with
let's
them.
hope that kind of what's going on with Darren Young.
Yep.
Let's hope that
Yep.
Angle takes them under their wing,
Right.
and then they'll be world champions.
Yeah. Speaking of that, real quick, seeing you brought up Darren Young, he won that battle royal the other night
Oh
without
my-
throwing anybody out of the ring.
Oh my God.
I still don't understand this thing because honestly, I'd like to see Darren. He wrestled locally around here for a while.
Yes, he
as
did.
Fred Sampson.
Yes, he did.
So I mean, I have nothing against him.
No.
I like him, but I just thought it was kind of and nothing against Bob Backlund either. But I thought they would have brought someone with a little more charisma.
Oh,
than
it was-
Backlund.
it was-
Backlund's got that wacky charisma.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It's
It
kind
was
of weird to
yeah.
watch. Like he's not that. I don't know, not that good. He was never that good talking. That's why they had him with Arnold Skolin years ago.
Right. That's why they kind of like you put Brock Lesnar with
With
Paul.
Heyman. Yeah,
right.
exactly. So after that, with the 23rd pick, Big Show was picked by Raw.
Mhm.
And then after that, we had Dolph Ziggler went to SmackDown with the 24th pick. And with the 25th pick, we had another NXT roster, a woman,
My God.
a beast, a monster.
Too soon for me.
Yeah, well, she's here. Nia Jax.
Too soon for me.
Yeah. And
Way too soon for me, brother.
right, I hear you. She's very new to the business.
Hugely new to the business.
Yeah,
Just
so-
because you sit in the front row with The Rock's mom, your aunt,
Right,
and watch
right.
WXW doesn't make you a worker.
Right.
So I mean, to me, my opinion, way too early.
Yeah.
But I'm still happy for her because
Right.
we love what we do in the business.
Yep.
We do this for a reason. But I'm
Right.
very happy for her success.
But you think it would have been better to be later?
Oh my God, yes.
I think I got to agree with you on
Needs some
that.
more ring time.
Totally agree with you on that.
Does not
because
have enough ring time.
exactly. The experience is only going to help her.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
See where it goes.
Round 6, we had Neville went to Raw
Thank God coming back.
with the 26th pick. With the 27th pick, we had Natalia.
Yep.
She's going to SmackDown. And with the 28th pick on Raw, we had Cesaro.
Not happy.
Yep. You're not happy with you?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, yeah, no.
What a shoot.
Yeah, 28.
What a shoot,
That,
man.
again, though, Sami Zayn was picked 17
I
picks
know.
before him. 17
I know. And
picks.
Cesaro's supposed to be their guy now.
He's, you ask me, you know how I felt about this.
Yep.
They should have been pushing this kid to the moon already.
Oh, a long time ago.
A long time
ago.
A long time ago. Especially right after he won that Battle Royal at WrestleMania.
Yes.
That's when his push should have started.
Yes, I agree.
And it should still be going.
Yep. Nope. Agreed.
I really do believe that, you know how they gave Roman Reigns the title? They would have been better off with that title on Cesaro.
Are you kidding me? The way
fans
he
love
works the
Cesaro.
crowd, the way he works the crowd, and whether they hate him or they love him.
Yeah. He gets a reaction either way.
Either
a positive
way.
reaction.
Exactly. Either way.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm very disappointed in this pick, too.
And
I really think he should have went a long time
Good
ago.
shoot by him, by the way. Cutting script.
Oh, yeah.
Good for him.
Oh, yeah.
Proud of him.
Yeah, he's very good. Right after him was in the 29th pick going to SmackDown was Alberto Del Rio.
Yep.
I'm going to have to speed up a little because
Yeah,
we're running out
yeah,
of time.
shoot
a
it,
little
brother.
bit. But now, 30th pick, Raw, Sheamus.
Yep.
Going into the 7th round. Now, this was all from the Draft Center live
Right.
and I was going to say
On the
NXT,
network.
on the network
Yep.
for $9.99.
$9.99.
With the 31st pick, going to Raw was the Golden Truth. Got to have some comedy on your TV.
Yes.
And to me, they're comedy gold.
Yep.
Both of them are probably the two funniest guys on the roster.
Well, no matter what.
Am I right,
No
though?
matter what, yes.
I love it when I used to love the little Jimmy thing, and,
Oh,
and
my
I
God.
just Goldust. I might have said it before, but he's one of my favorite characters
Dustin,
of all time.
yeah.
He really is. I liked him as Dustin Rhodes too, but
Right.
Goldust to me is one of my favorite characters. 32nd pick, we had the Usos going to SmackDown.
Yep.
The 33rd pick on Raw, Titus O'Neil.
Yep.
With the 34th pick going to SmackDown, Demon Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he didn't get the job that he was looking for. He wanted to be the general manager.
His resume.
So maybe he'll take his stuff out on a bunch
His
of
resume.
people.
That
His
was funny, man.
And he, with a reference from The Undertaker.
From The Undertaker.
He said it right
Oh,
there.
my
I got
God.
a reference from The Undertaker.
That was such a good spot.
With the 35th pick, someone that seems to be lost in the shuffle. I think she's getting lost in life a little bit. Paige.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
She just got popped.
I know.
She just got arrested. Her and Alberto Del Rio, I guess, are seeing each other.
Well,
but-
hang on.
yeah.
Detained.
Okay, so she wasn't arrested. She was just held.
Correct.
Okay.
She was
okay.
detained.
I thought she was arrested.
No,
Sorry.
there was no arrest record. They released her right out of the truck. She was detained.
Okay.
That's the shoot.
Okay.
The shoot is she was
Yep.
detained. She was held back. They did no arrests were made.
Okay.
She was actually kind of like when you go into the drunk tank.
Right,
They don't want to
right.
arrest you. They just want you. I mean, not drunk drivers. They,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
throw those scumbags in there.
Right, right.
But if you're intoxicated in public, they put you in the drunk
Yes,
tank. You sober up and you go,
yes.
get the hell out of here.
Yep,
That's
exactly.
They
Okay.
put her in detention.
Okay. It's too bad that happened to her because I'm a Paige fan.
Right.
I really hope, real quick, we'll get off this for 30
Yep,
seconds,
yep,
if that.
yep.
I want to see her mother come out.
Oh my God.
Soraya Knight.
I know, right?
Dude, she can work.
Right?
She can work better
Yep.
than half the girls
Yep.
on the roster
Agreed.
now.
Agreed.
And they're running out of time to
Yep.
bring her up because she's like 40 in her early
Right.
40s. It's time to bring up Soraya Knight. Triple H, Stephanie, Vince, bring this lady over
Bring
here.
this woman up, brother.
Bring her soon, please,
Yep.
because I'm telling you, she'll work circles around everybody. She might be better wrestler than anybody.
Nope.
Her charisma is
Nope.
off the
Totally,
charts.
totally agree.
Off the charts.
Agreed.
All right, so now we're going into round 8. With the 36th pick, along with Mr. Bob Backlund, we got Darren Young,
Darren
who
Young.
we just talked
Yep.
about. He's on Raw. Going to SmackDown. Now, this tag team was broken up, and they went back-to-back. Kalisto going to SmackDown, Sin Cara on Raw. Real quick, you hear what happened in Worcester?
Yes.
Sin Cara and Simon Gotch of the Vaudevillains went at it in the catering department.
Correct.
And from what I heard, I'm no expert or anything like that, but Sin Cara kicked the crap out
Yep.
of him.
So I heard.
We heard.
Yep.
So I don't know how it happened. I'm sure it'll come out. When it does, we will tell you
That's
about
right.
it.
We will find out.
With the 39th pick, Naomi went to SmackDown.
I'm hoping they use her.
Yeah,
I really
but,
do.
You know, I hear you. I'm glad the other one's gone.
Tamina.
Completely gone. No.
Oh,
Tamina's injured, but
right. The idiot. The tag
Cameron,
team.
the one
Oh
that
my
wants to pin
God.
somebody when they're laying on their
My
stomach.
God, she's a bonehead.
She's beautiful, but an idiot.
Dumbass.
Wicked.
Yep.
She's probably just as dumb as Eva Marie.
Oof.
That's closer. Am I right, though? Because remember Eva Marie thought it was smart to take naked pictures for their wedding photos.
Bonehead.
Now, and then they get engaged when she knew that her parents would want to be at a wedding.
Right.
She's just an idiot.
Oh, she's a zip
beautiful idiot.
Zip ahead.
But so wasn't Cameron.
Complete-
Nothing against. She's beautiful.
Complete zip ahead.
Yeah. So funny, real quick. They're talking about bringing Cameron to the next that convention.
Yes, the
What do they call that?
Rob's thing. There.
Legends convention
Yes,
or whatever.
Yep.
And everybody was posting on Facebook saying, "Is Vinny gonna be there?" Because most likely Vinny's a bigger star than her
my
from being
God,
on the
right,
Diva
from being
show.
on the Diva show.
Vinny was pretty funny on that.
Yeah.
So I liked him.
Putting up with her.
Oh yeah.
He's a saint.
Yeah, with the 40th pick going to Raw. Now, remember we said earlier that some of these rounds were 6? These
Yes.
later rounds are 6 picks in each draft.
Well, because like you said,
Each round.
because of this round, right?
Yeah. So with the 40th pick, Jack Swagger
Yep.
should say was on Raw.
Which can't believe he still works there.
Right, I know. Even after that with the weed and stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that,
know.
I'm really shocked.
I know.
With the 41st pick, a tag team that definitely could have used more time in NXT, the Ascension.
Oof.
You know,
Too soon.
You know something? Put way too soon. And that might have been a tag team that could have used a third member.
Yes. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yep.
Someone that could talk like
Yep.
crazy.
Kind of like a Paul Ellering.
Yeah. Yeah. Why didn't they use
See?
Yeah.
That's what they should have did.
Yep. Instead, they brought up these guys that no one's ever heard of
No
at
one
all.
even knows.
Yeah. But whatever. We'll see where it goes. I mean,
Whatever.
they're just big dudes.
Yep.
Like I said, they remind me of the Hit Squad. And I'll be honest with you, the Hit Squad would have did a better job than the Office of Pain. And that's a
Yep.
fact.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Agreed.
Anybody that's watching this show, man, you guys know what I'm talking about. The Hit Squad is way better than those
Yep.
guys. I'd love to see them get a chance someday. Dan Moff actually just posted, I think it was today, where would he like to see them guys wrestle next? And
Right.
the last one was a question mark. It had TNA, Ring of Honor,
Right.
PWG. You know, I'm going to comment on it later. I'm going to say all of the above and WWE because they should be everywhere.
Correct.
Great tag team. 9th round, the 42nd pick, your boys, the Dudleys,
Yes.
staying on Raw.
Yes.
The 43rd pick, Zack Ryder, SmackDown. The 44th pick, Summer Rae, Raw. With the 45th pick, going to SmackDown, Apollo Crews. You definitely think pulled too early. I agree too. I do.
Yeah.
But I like him.
I love
I
the
do.
kid.
I like the
Great
kid.
worker. Just pulled too early.
Athletic, huh, though? Very
Pulled way
athletic.
too early.
I think you're right, too, on that. with the 46th pick, which he should be retiring real soon, Mark Henry.
Yeah.
I love Mark Henry, too,
Yep.
though. I do. For a guy that's had a 10-year career, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't even really get good until like 6 years
Oh,
into,
my God, I know.
into the thing.
I know.
You know, I'm so surprised they didn't buy him out.
Used his size.
He signed 10 years ago. He signed a $10 million contract, $1 million
Yep.
a year. And the whole world couldn't, like the wrestling industry, couldn't believe that they were going to pay him that
And they
much.
did.
Yeah. And he did at the end. Last couple of years, he's done well.
Yep.
I will say that. He's done well the last couple of years. With the 47th pick, SmackDown took from NXT Alexa Bliss. Neither one of those the tag team, and you thought they were going to be picked. I thought so, too.
They were supposed to bring them up and
Yep.
split them,
Murphy and Dawson.
and they didn't.
Neither one of them
I know.
were drafted. I
Instead,
was
they
shocked.
brought her up.
Yep, I was shocked when they did that.
Yep.
There's only 2 rounds left. In the 10th round, we had, with the 48th pick, Braun Strowman
Men.
of the Wyatt families on Raw.
Yep.
With the 49th pick, tag team Breezango,
Yeah.
SmackDown.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They should be together, to be honest with you. If
You
you're
know
going to
what?
put tag teams together.
Let's hope that they help each other's careers.
I hope so,
That's what
too.
I'm hoping for.
Yeah, me too.
Because
Me
I
too.
like Johnny.
Yeah.
And I really hope that. Let's hope it goes that way.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
And Tyler Breeze is starting to grow on me a little. Remember I told you I wasn't too keen on
He's a
He's-
great worker.
He is a good worker. I like the better as Mike Dalton. I told you
Yes,
that before.
correct.
But we'll give him a
But remember, they were going to let him go.
Yeah,
He had
yeah.
to
He
repackage
had to
himself.
Yeah.
Boom.
And he did.
He brought it out.
He brought it right
He
out.
did good.
With the 50th pick of the draft, Bo Dallas, Raw.
Yep.
The 51st pick, SmackDown. We just talked about a beautiful, redheaded Eva Marie.
Ugh.
Dumb as dirt.
Dumb.
Horrible wrestler.
Oh.
But I will say,
Eye candy. That's why.
oh my God,
It's eye candy.
I could look at her all day.
It's eye
As long
candy.
as she doesn't talk or
Right.
wrestle,
Right.
I could just look at pictures
Total,
of her all
total
day.
eye candy.
The 52nd pick, the Shining Stars, the old Los Matadors.
Oh, yep. Yep.
The Colognes, the
Yes.
cousins.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
cousins.
yeah. One's Carlos.
Carlos' son.
Carlito's brother.
Yes.
The other one's a cousin.
Eddie.
Correct.
Eddie.
Yes.
Eddie, and the other one is I forget his name right now. We're running out of time.
Right.
The 53rd pick, another tag team. We just talked about Simon Gotch getting his ass kicked.
Yep.
The Vaudevillains.
Vaudevillains.
Round 11. 54th pick, Alicia Fox, still around.
Which I
on
can't
Raw.
believe because I heard she was released.
Yeah, I thought we
Right.
talked about that.
We
before.
did. She
Yeah.
was released. She was on that on that list. And
She's back.
hey,
She's a good-looking
you know what?
girl too.
And I'm happy for her.
You know, she's really.
Oh yeah, pretty girl.
She's pretty good.
Pretty
but
girl.
she's really become a good wrestler
Yes,
too.
and you know what?
I really do.
I hope they use her good.
I hope
man.
so too, because I'm a fan of Alicia
Me too.
Fox. I really
Me
am.
too.
Eric Rowan was picked 55th going to SmackDown.
Yep.
Dana Brooke, obviously staying with
Of
Charlotte
course.
because Emma wasn't drafted.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, Emma's still injured too.
That's why, right. And 57th pick, a guy that I booed the crap out of when I went to NXT, but when he came outside, I screamed like a little schoolgirl to get him to come over. Mojo Rawley.
Mojo Rawley.
See, I got no problem shame. I don't care. You know what I
Right.
mean? I have
Of
no
course.
shame anyways.
I believe it.
It was funny, though.
Yep.
Mojo, come
Did he
here.
tell you who-
And he came over.
Did he tell you who his first phone call was to?
No.
Gronk.
Was it real? Well, that's his best friend.
He called Gronk
Yeah,
to let
they
him know
played
he got
football
drafted.
together.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
I like to. That's
But
great.
it's funny.
If you don't know who Gronk is, then start watching football too.
Then
Rob
can you get out of
Gronkowski,
my country,
the
please?
greatest tight end. Now, most likely by the time his career over, he will be the greatest tight end of all time.
But I just think it's funny
already
he calls
is, I think.
Gronk instead of his parent, like his parents. You know what I mean? That was awesome.
That is cool. With the 58th pick, the second to last pick of the draft, we had Curtis Axel. Remember we couldn't remember his name a couple
man.
weeks ago?
Well, that goes to show you how bad it is. And I hope,
Yeah.
from what I'm hearing, I really hope they're supposed to flip him to his own gimmick, to his father's gimmick.
That would be
I
nice.
Well, I hope they do.
I hope so, but they should pull him off the TV for a while then. You know what I'm
Send him
saying?
down. Send
To
him
make
down.
People want him to come
Send
back.
him down NXT,
Yeah,
let him
anything.
get his craft, and come back.
Yes,
Correct.
because that kid, either that or throw a mask on him, like you said.
Yep.
Send him away
Yep.
for a while. Bring him back under because he
needs
has
it.
talent.
He needs it.
He has talent. He really does. But you're right. He needs to go away for a while and then come back. With the last pick of the draft, how you doing? Carmella.
I know.
She's going to SmackDown.
And-
Very happy with that, but she's not on Raw
Right,
with Enzo and Cass.
Right, she won't be with her boyfriend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what the?
I know.
You know, and I just think it would have been a natural fit.
It should have been. That's where they should have did it.
I saw a video the other day of watching them with her,
Yeah.
and it was like a couple of videos in a row.
Oh,
like
the vignette one. Yes.
that was awesome.
Great.
So funny. Like
Great.
they got her fired. They wanted hair cream to
Yes.
remove hair, and they spilled it on a dog,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
one
yep.
of her clients. Telling you, man, I watched it twice.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, it was
Good, good stuff.
But we both love Enzo and Cass anyway. So
I love 'em.
I
Yep.
would watch.
How you
I
doing?
can watch those. How you doing?
How you
I
doing?
can watch that stuff all day.
Definitely.
Because I'm also a certified G and a bona fide stud. Just kidding. But
I'm just a gabagoo. Forget about it.
Listen. I'll admit, I probably thought I was when I was younger.
So I think
You know what
next
mean?
week, brother, we should definitely keep the momentum rolling.
Yes.
Keep with everything that we're going on.
We're going to
Keep
try
an
to
eye-
get some guests in the next couple of weeks.
I think
too.
we should too. Yeah.
You know, I definitely want to bring. There's a guy I want to get on here, and I hope you're watching, and I'll call you soon. Mark Beaudry, Chaotic Wrestling, the president of Chaotic Wrestling. I'd love to have you. Sheldon Goldberg, you haven't answered my email by IM a
I'll get him.
while ago.
I'll get him. I'll talk to
Derek,
him.
Please
Yep,
say
I'll
I've
talk
been
to him.
waiting. Maybe he was waiting for me to send him another one. I don't know. I love you, Sheldon.
I'm going to do
Love
a
you.
quick shout out real quick.
Go ahead. We got 20
Oh,
seconds
right
left,
there.
brother.
There's my people.
There you go.
Hoochly Shack. I'm going to send this over to you. Guys, do me a favor. If you're a cigar lover, go to Hoochly Shack or Hoochly.com or whatever it is over in Facebook. I'm Hoochly for life.
Nice.
Love you guys.
And real quick, I might as well do it. I was going to do it last time, but they put on Happy Birthday to
Yep.
Isaiah instead. Frank, go see Frank at Milano's for Haddock Dinner, $7.99 on special. Can't beat it, 1 Broad Street, 883-6610.
Do it right.
Real quick, Elizabeth Connors, I'm coming to see you in a few minutes. I love you. Happy 30th birthday, honey. That's my daughter.
We love you guys.
Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.